Welcome back, guys. At the end of this video, you should be familiar with the principles of sketch. You should also know how to apply the appropriate technique to produce nice, clean, well proportional sketch. Sketch is of great importance. Sketch is important in every aspect of the design process and in all the core areas. Now, sketch, some important thing to note when you're sketching is that you should always seek to establish the right ratio and proportion. You should always draw using pale line first before you brighten up. Yes, very important. Now, before you start your sketch, you want to warm up first. So you do that by rotating your wrist like this. So rotate your wrist just like that. Once you have done that, you want to get a piece of paper and start to make circles, as many circles as possible. It is important to note that for sketch, it's best if the pencil is not gripped too tight, and it's recommended that you give yourself some distance, probably 3 inches from the tip, between 2 to 3 inches from the tip. Once you have done that, draw a line, then try to reproduce, redraw over the existing line as many times as possible. That builds muscle memory. Sorry. Now that you have done that, it's time for us to get into some sketch. So you build your muscle memory again as many times as possible. You want to get those muscles active and working. Now that you have done that, the next step is to start some drawing, some sketch. So the first thing you want to do is to establish your horizontal and the vertical datum line. So first mark 2 points, then go over this several times before I actually mark. That is it. Now to get my vertical line, I'm gonna go here to here, and I'm gonna go like that. One stroke done. The next step is to establish your 30-degree angle. So place a point, then draw that there. Then go across on the other side. So please always work with a point. A point here, then you go several times to get that. Next step, that. So we establish our 30-degree angle right there. Now the next step is to establish your overall length, width, and height. This line is used to establish your height. This line is used to establish your width or your length, whichever is longer. Now, for this task, I would like to produce this drawing. And for a sketch, we always draw a complete shape first, then we cut out what we don't want, using very pale line, then we brighten up. So our objective is to produce this figure, right? So look at the ratio. Here is 80, here is 50, thickness is 10. So on this side, we want 80, right? So see if what I did, I drew a ruler. I created a ruler with this, right? So this can be used to enhance your sketch. So I say I have a 0 here up to 8. So for this one, I'm gonna use my ruler. So I'm using here for my 8, and for my 50 I'll be using here And for my height, I'll be marking off 10. So I mark 10 here, 8 and 5. My next step is to transfer the very same distance here, this distance here, and you want to ensure that this is vertical. This must be vertical. So that is 10 right here, 10 right there. You want to do the same thing here. You must ensure that this is vertical or this is parallel to this side. Next step is to join from here to there. Use a very pale line first, then rotate your paper to a comfortable angle. Then you want to transfer this distance here and also the same angle. You want to ensure the angle is sloped, is at the same angle. So here I'm using my paper to transfer the measurement. Then I go from here to there. Yeah, and there we go. There you have it. So once everything has been established, you can go through and brighten up my edges. Then from here we go here. Then from here we go from here to there and we brighten up. So remember, it's good to work on that muscle memory. Do that as many times as possible. Yeah, once you have some free time, get a piece of paper, draw a line, get a piece of paper, get a piece of paper, draw a line, and try to go over it several times. Remember, the movement is in your shoulder. Then you go over it as many times as possible. Then I try to draw a next line parallel to that line. The next thing that you need to do is to have a good idea, good estimation of where 30 degrees is. A good thing to do is to use a protractor to aid you in the beginning to establish an angle, or try to reproduce angles. Yeah, and then measure to see if you how far off you are. Yeah. Another way in which you could do this is like here again. Draw this right over the top, exactly over this. You place a dot, then you look to see where that is. And I'm gonna use this to transfer my measurement. Here again I'm using 20, which is here. And I'm gonna, here is how much? Here is 48. 48. And you want to ensure the angle is the same angle is maintained. Mark the end. Mark the end, and then you work with that. Yeah. Yeah, and to add elements to this, you can on the top we draw this across like this. Yeah, so add element to a drawing.